Hello and welcome to The Content Bite, a podcast for freelancers who use their words to make money. I'm Rachel Smith, a freelance journalist, copywriter, and content producer. I'm also the founder of Rachel's List, a jobs board and community for Aussie writers and other creatives.
Hello, and I'm Lynne Testoni. I'm a journalist and a content writer as well, and Rachel and I are your weekly co-hosts, and every week we're bringing you all kinds of tips, ideas, and some fabulous guests to help you make the most of your freelance business. Hi Rach, how are you? What's been happening?
Infernal, I don't even know which word I want to use. The eternal infernal juggle. Same old, really. I have a wedding this weekend though, which I'm excited about because how long has it been since any of us have been to a wedding? That's how I felt about when we were on the plane to Launceston. How long since we've been on a plane?
I know. Well, see, it's all happening for me. I've got 2 weddings this year, one of which I've already been to.
Yeah.
And I'm on a plane again tomorrow going north to Queensland. So I feel like everything is happening because everything's been put on hold for 2 years. So
yeah.
And it is exciting. And so is what we're talking about on the podcast today, something we haven't really touched on, but is something that's so important for freelancers. It's all about personal branding.
Yes. And we've got the personal branding legend, Emma Lovell, to chat to us about why it's something that every freelancer needs to think about. Because I will say this, I don't really think about it that much, but I have talked to Emma about it so many times, and I think it is so important for us to think about when we run a small business or we're a freelance and we're trying to be more visible and get more clients. So I just want to read a quick bio for Emma before we get started.
Fantastic.
So Emma Lovell is a personal branding coach with a mission to support female leaders to live and love their brand. Through her business, Lovell Communications, Emma empowers women to show up and make an impact with their personal brand. As a business owner of 12 years, Emma has experienced the importance of building a brand and sharing that with the world, and bringing together her skills in communications, marketing, PR, writing, and social media. She's the true slashy. Emma gives women the tools and support to build their own unique brand. And Lovell Communications helps women grow their business, become an authority, and own their voice to make a bigger impact in the world. Welcome, Em. I cannot believe we finally got you on the podcast. It's great to have you.
I love that term, slashy. I hadn't heard that for a while, but it's like the equivalent of a triple threat in the acting world. If you're a triple threat, or maybe it's not maybe quite as honorary to be a slashy. Also, I am taking personal branding legend as my new bio. So
yes, please put that on Instagram immediately.
Yes, I've had Oracle, I've had Yoda, but legend. Yeah, I'll take that. I don't like the word expert, not a big fan of that, but legend can do.
It's funny, isn't it? The slashy thing as well. I think there was a thread on the Rachel's List Gold group about that where somebody said, once they realize you're a slashy, they want all your skills for nothing. Like they literally want all, and it's true, isn't it? I think so many of us are in that position, but you do have so many skills and you've used it to build this business, but now you sort of zero in.
Well, it's actually where I got to. And I mean, that's probably my origin story for stepping into personal branding, because I did run my business. It will be 13 years now this year. And for 10 years, I was a slashy, and if you asked me if I could do it, I could do it. And when I was trying to explain what I did or talk about myself, even my dad, like every time was like, so tell me, it's social media, right? Like it's this and that. And it's like, no, well, but I can do this and I can do that. And when I was introducing myself, even I was sighing,
it's exhausting.
I was either diluting my services, or as you said, somebody wants everything for nothing, or not really understanding how you can really help them. And I actually really love working with people. And so I was working with brands. I do work with business brands as well, and I'm sure we'll get to that. But I love working with people. And it was like, it's the individuals that I love, and the people want to work with people. We want to connect with people.
Yeah.
I wanted that, and I wanted to have an impact. And sometimes when you're doing the slashy style work and the freelancing style work, as I'm sure many of your listeners will know, is that you're just a cog in the wheel. You come along, you deliver this little piece of the puzzle, and then you step away and you actually never get to see the outcome. Or you come in and contract for a couple of months and you don't actually get to see, the impact of your work. And so now working with people, I get to take them on this journey of not knowing how to talk about themselves, how to show up, what a personal brand even is, or how they can utilize it. Take them on this journey, which is quite personal. We do get to share things together. And then to see them, and I'm like a proud mama duck when I get to see them confidently, clearly talking about themselves. And it can be as simple as one of my clients saying, it's amazing what happens when you walk into a room and actually tell people what you do and how you do it. And then they buy your services. She's like, it's just amazing. It's like that simple, but they didn't even have that piece of it. So yeah, brought it all together, and now I get to really help people and make more of an impact, and I love that.
That's awesome. Well, I know that you and I personally have talked about this because I've interviewed you for stories about personal branding and branding in general. But from a freelancer perspective, you know, is it really that important? And what can it do for you in your business to have a strong personal brand?
First and foremost, everybody has a personal brand, whether you like it or not. Your personal brand is your skills, your personality, your reputation. It's all the things that make you you, and then how that comes across. And the way I describe it is like, if you picture two circles, you've got, a Venn diagram. On the one side, you've got how others see you, and on the other side, you've got how you see yourself. And that's the middle section is personal brand. So that's where I talk about that confidence is how are you even viewing yourself? So then how can you talk about yourself? But then others would already have a perception of you. So you actually do have the control and the power to tell that story yourself. And so to attract, as a freelancer, we want to attract clients. We want to work with people. So the more that you can show who you are, what you stand for, like values is a big part of it, what you stand for, what you like working on, what you specialize in, what you do, you can tell people that, then you have power, and you get to have these nicer working relationships because you're telling them, and they're going, yeah, I want to work with that. I like that. I'm going to work with that person, as opposed to us being freelancers so often. I have a freelancing background, so I totally get it. We just receive the work. Can you do this? Yes, I can do it. Can you do that? Yes, I can do it. But are we really working with the people that we want to be working with? A lot of the time, probably not.
It's so interesting. That's a great way to describe personal branding. Do you think there's a big difference between good and bad branding? Have you seen some bad branding out there?
I think, if we were to say bad would probably be that, or bad for me would be you're not seen at all.
Yeah.
If people don't even know you. And I've even heard these times where people have been running a business for many years and that people don't even know that they're the person behind the business. They're like, oh, you're the founder, or you're the person running it. I'm like, that
makes me feel really bad, because people always say to me, oh my God, there's a real Rachel behind Rachel's list. They say it all the time. So maybe my personal brand is shit.
No, we know you're Rachel. Everyone knows Rachel.
Just because you know me.
But to be honest, Rachel, since we've been doing this podcast, happens less and less.
Yeah. So maybe I am like a real person now.
I feel seen. I feel validated.
I get that though. I mean, I get that because I know so many freelancers who come to Rachel's list, but they don't have any kind of online footprint. So it's that as well, isn't it? They're just not visible, and they're running this business, but they don't actually exist in the online world.
And you've used that word a couple of times, and I think it's a great word. I have a wonderful PR colleague who's using that word at the moment as well. And it's the feedback that I get. You're so visible. Like we see you, and it's just that I'm then in people's minds, and it's a nice way. They're not like, oh, well, there are people who are definitely like, I see you all the time. And I'm like, that's the power of social media. You can turn it off. Like you can turn me off if you want to.
Mute
unfollow. I do care little if you unfollow, but people who are seeing it, it's like, oh, it's lovely seeing your face, or it's lovely seeing what you're doing, and it's just that thing of being I'm seen. And so then when they do have a requirement, I am the first person who comes to mind. Like, Rachel, it's so lovely. You had an article on branding. You're like, well, Emma, obviously, because I'm visible. You probably saw a post that day and went, exactly, that's who I need to talk to. So bad would be not visible at all. Then the other bad would be just totally unclear. Like if I'm going to your website or I'm going to your socials and I don't know, I can't in a very short time understand what you're offering or get a sense of who you are, that's not good. And a lovely piece of feedback is like, I went to your website and it was so bright and colorful and I just loved it and I wanted to talk to you. So they got a sense of it. So that's good. That's great. It's like, I'm not exactly clear, but it started a conversation. I can call you, I can talk about it. But if you're just so unclear because you can't even, you're like, I don't get a vibe off them because it's so generic. And the messaging's not clear. You've got some fancy, I know you talk about this, Lynn, fancy taglines and all this all over the place, but you don't actually literally say, I'm a writer, I will write words for you. They don't know what they're getting. So there's Unstoppable E-commerce, this wonderful business I know, Karen Parkinson, she talks about a 3-second test. Get someone else to go to your website, and in 3 seconds, they should be able to see what you do.
Yeah.
See what you offer. They should get a vibe and a sense of you very quickly. And if they're not, a website, socials, that's unclear, that's problematic.
Yeah. And I know this is sort of diverting a little bit. I suppose it does come under the bad branding type thing, but what are your thoughts on people that go onto LinkedIn and say things like, I've got no work and I'm really desperate this month and can someone throw me a bone, and that sort of thing? Because we see that a lot, usually from journalists who are moving into freelancing and they've previously just, had all the work thrown at them in an office situation, but suddenly they're freelancing and they think that that's the way to sort of generate work or leads or something. Is that a bad branding exercise, doing that kind of thing?
I think it's all about like positioning and the way you position it. And you can see through it when you understand messaging. The better way to position that would be, and absolutely, I did this last month. I did it more in a private way, which was reaching out to existing clients or some networks that I knew in a small space, but I could have even done this on LinkedIn and may still. I've got some spots available in my calendar. I've got availability for 5 people this month to offer my writing package, which I do a writing package of, bio, about page, I have 5 spots available just for this month. If you're interested, write back with the word this or send me an email here. It's an offer then. It's an offer and showing you're available, but it's actually also saying, I've got work, like I'm doing stuff, but I could also take a bit more. And I mean, maybe you don't have work at all, but it's a much nicer way than going, help me, nobody's buying from me. Like,
I do that too. I've got an unexpected space in my schedule. If somebody wants it, let me know. Like,
we all know that. And actually it's good to do that, because I think I've had the reverse of, because I am so visible, you'll see me at an event, you'll see me speaking, you'll see me hosting something, or because my social's consistent, people have at times thought I'm busy, and they'll open the conversation, oh, you're so busy, and I'm like, well, actually, capacity wise, I'm not. I have space in my coaching, I have space in my writing, I can actually work with you. And so that makes me say, oh, okay, maybe I need to be telling. And again, it could be done in a more private way, or in a safe group that you're in, or to another network of writers saying, hey guys, I actually do have availability and I'd love a little bit extra. So just a reminder, these are my services. Let me know if you got something, or if something comes across, I do it, like something comes across your desk and you think of me, I'm here and I do have availability. So it's not great to say that you have zero. And probably a little bit of that, Brene Brown oversharing vulnerability, a little bit attention seeky.
So that comes back to messaging and stuff like that, which I want to talk about next. How you position yourself. So where do we start with personal branding? Because I know that when we've talked about it, we talked about how it's so easy to get excited by the shiny thing and the logos and the color palette and how your website's going to look and all of that. But do you think we need to stop and just figure out our messaging and how we want to position ourselves, what we want to offer, who we're targeting? I mean, talk us through the process, because you know it way better.
Last position, and I love my designer friends, I love brand, like I love all of that. Canva's genius. But if you're starting at that end point, it's going to be unclear, it's going to be messy, and you're going to spend a lot of time on it. And I think our designer friends out there, freelancers, will probably be very grateful to hear this message. It's like, they don't like that either. If you're coming to them, you don't really know what you want, you don't know what you want to say, and you're just saying, oh, you do something for me. 1, you're handing over all of your power, and 2, it's just, you're not going to get back what you want, and it's definitely not going to speak to your audience. So the first place to start is, it goes a bit deep, a bit existential, but it's like, who are you? Who are you? What do you want? My very, very top question I ask people is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Ideal life, like this isn't, don't take reality out of it. Dream way of working, dream clients, How are you operating? What does it look like?
Yep.
Go back from there, you know? And so it's like, it is very personal. This is so often we've disconnected from who we are and what we want and how we want to show up in the world. And then we separate ourselves into the business and the professional and the personal, or our, you know, keep our lives over here. That's the 1960s. Like, leave your personality at the door. That's done. We don't do that anymore. People work with people. So the more that you can be yourself and feel yourself and show up in that way, that you're going to attract the work that you want. You're going to work with the people that you want. So I even ask people, think about, you know, whether it was in a job or whether it was a contract, the work that you most enjoyed doing. I think if you think about that, it'll probably be the people and the relationship and that way of working, as opposed to the literal work. Yeah, it wasn't the output. It was a great editor. It was a great working relationship. It was a good dynamic. You were in a great place in your life. You were doing the digital nomad thing. Like, why was that? What was happening around that time that you felt so good? We want more of that. It's why on a resume you write, and we don't really have resumes in that traditional sense so much anymore, but it's why we write the personal thing. Used to write skills, netball, snowboarding, or hobbies, reading. And then in the interview, they would say, oh, you like snowboarding? Oh, so do I. Or, oh, my daughter plays netball. And then you talked as people and they got a sense of you. And culture, we know culture is so important right now in terms of workplaces. But like as a freelancer, you're working one-on-one with this person so often. Like, you're such a tight client relationship. You got to like that person. So get back to who you are, you know, then you can go, okay, what do I want? What do I want for my life? Then it's looking at, okay, well, how would I describe myself? And then we go into that stuff of like, and then who do you want to work with? And then, you know, obviously your service offering is probably quite basic. Like we're probably starting at trying to talk so much about the service offering, or in a job situation, you're talking about your skills. And it's like, I would hope that you can do the job that you're saying you can do. Like, I understand you have a skill set and you can quickly cover that in, you know, I've more than 10 years of experience in writing, and I have a background in journalism, and then I offer copywriting, and I specialize in fashion and interiors. But the rest of it, I want to know how you work. I want to know the person you are. And where you can get that information, if you find this tricky, is go out and get some testimonials, and get those testimonials based on your character, not on the work you delivered. I have actually gone back to people on LinkedIn and said, thank you so much. Lovely testimonial. However, can you change it to be more about the person that I am and how I was to work with, as opposed to the service that I delivered? Because it can say so much more about you.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, fact, I can write, but I'm really great to work with. I'm on time. I'm a nice person to deal with, and really creative and innovative. And oh, cool, I want to work with that writer over that writer. And look, type in copywriter to Google, you're going to find a heap of people. But why would they choose you over someone else? Because they like your face, because you've used the color purple and they love purple as well, because you have a dog, they also have a dog and they want to talk about dogs as well as their copywriting. Those things are the things that are going to set you apart.
Do you think you need a designer to differentiate yourself in terms of the visual?
If you're not in a place financially to go down that road, no, don't worry about it. There's some wonderful things. Like, one of my questions to my clients, and I think when I was starting to work with them, they think like, they're like, well, who is this woo-woo washy-washy lady? But one of my questions is, what's your favorite color? And it's not to using your branding necessarily, but it might be because why you have a favorite color, when you look at color meanings, and designers know this, and Canva has this amazing thing actually, where you can, it's like canva.com/colors or color meanings, just type it in. You can go and look at what that color means. So why I love purple. Purple is elegant, it's passionate, it's loyal, it's truthful, it's energetic, and even like more specifically magenta. Like every color has a meaning, and there's a reason that you would resonate with it. So maybe pick your favorite color, because you're going to use it a lot and see it a lot. Go and pick that one out. And then they actually also offer, if you picked, say, purple, then it would offer you complementary colors. So it'd say this color palette could work for you, a purple and a teal and a black and a white. And you go, oh, I like those colors.
There are color palette sites which, you can put one color in and it spits out the palette for you.
Well, even shameless plug, but you know, if you choose your poison. But Canva, they're really dominating. They're doing amazing, and it's very simple. But you know, that would just be such a great way. And there are even some graphic designers, if you want to do it on it, who are loving this. Graphic designers who work with Canva, so they will help you to do that initial piece of work. And I did invest in, when I did rebrand in terms of visually rebranding when I stepped into personal branding. So, but I had done all the work before, but I had done a lot of the messaging, a lot of digging before I actually went into the visual. And then I paid a designer to give me, and I was very clear. So we only did one round of change because I was so clear in telling her what I wanted. She sent me back the options. I asked for all of the assets. So asking them for her for pieces like footers and headers and banners, and I asked her for a brand guide, so I got my colors and my fonts done. I got it all done up front so that then I can then go and create from there. And there are a lot of designers out there who would be offering that package now, so they'll do that initial piece of work, which will be an investment, but then you can do all of the pieces after that, and they will be Canva friendly. So if you're going to, then maybe do that, but please do not go to a designer without doing some work on yourself and understanding what you like and what you want and what you're trying to say and who you're trying to say it to, because they can't do that for you, and it becomes a very messy and long process.
And expensive.
And it's just not it's just not that important. Another amazing thing that Canva can do is if you have a photo that you love, and maybe it's a photo of you and the background was really great, like you were in a really great place, you can put that photo into Canva and it can pull out the colors around you. And so there might be colors in that photo that you go, I'm going to use this as my headshot, and then those are my colors. And it could be as simple as that. The only thing I'll say is be consistent. Pick a couple of colors, pick a font and stay with it. 1 or 2 fonts and stay with them, and use images. Use your photo. You could do all the graphic design in the world, but if you just are going to put up logos and colors and fonts and not show your face, then you're going to have that same issue again of not connecting with your audience.
I know that we've talked about freelancers who try to copy people they admire or copy that look and feel. And I suppose this Canva comes into it as well, because you've got all those templates and people think that's so awesome and that's so on trend and I want that look. But why do we do this? I mean, is it laziness or is it fear of sort of standing out, or, you know, what are the risks of doing that, of trying to go too closely to a trend or someone else or something like that?
Well, it's back to that piece of they don't know who they are. They don't know what they're trying to say. And so I don't think it's laziness. I think it's maybe, you know, this is kind of deeper work, like it can be more like challenging. And so if you're not in the position to go and get someone to guide you through that process, which a professional can, you know, even with writing, we take someone through a process, we get the information out of them. You need someone to do that. And I even need it myself. I ask my clients for their feedback, for their words, so that I can have the words about myself that, you know, because I'm too close to it. Or I'll ask a fellow writer, you know, or a fellow coach and go, look, I'm trying to talk to my audience like this, but I can't really find the words. So sometimes you need someone else to pull that information out of you. It is work. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You need to do that initial piece of work to understand who you are and what you want to say. And if you go and just take somebody else's, it's not going to feel like you. It's going to feel actually really tiring for you. It's like acting. It's like being an actor, like putting on a mask, acting, trying to show up, you know, that is, you know, and this word gets overused a lot, but it's true. It's the authentic. If you're not showing up authentically and you're not being true to yourself, you're trying to be like someone else, it is going to drain your energy.
It's so exhausting, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is. It's so exhausting. Whereas if you accept, this is the person I am, you know, I wear glasses, I like sitting at home, I love my tea, I'm going to tell people that, I'm going to show people that. And it may not be as pretty and as polished, but it's me. And someone else will be like, yes, I love sitting and drinking my tea and I want to work with you. But, you know, we've got enough of those other people out in the world. You know, one of my favorite quotes, Oscar Wilde, it's like, be yourself because everyone else is already taken. Like, the key message here is your brand is you. You are you. Be you. The more you're you, you will attract the right people, and there will be people who don't like it. It's okay. They're not for you. And there's something so freeing and lovely in that.
Yeah, they're not your people.
Where does marketing come into it? Say you've got your sort of like brand palette and everything like that. What about things like your socials and your posting schedule? You're very good at that, Emma, because I see you all the time on
very visible,
social.
Very visible, Lynne.
Very visible. So is that all tied up with the brand? And is that sort of the amplification of the brand? How do you see that?
It's the amplification, and it's like that thing again of people starting at the end. If you're just starting and you're just going out, and I say this actually, I say, you're just starting, you're just posting and just posting at random. Again, that's going to come across as unclear and messy, but you do have to start somewhere. So a lot of the times I see that people like, I want to get all the pieces, and when I have all the things, then I'll start. And it's like, no, I'm sure you have a photo that is pretty good that you could use. If right now you can't invest in a photographer, I'm sure that you could make something, whether you don't design the tile yourself or it's just a picture that you find that represents what you're trying to talk about. Like, I'm trying to talk about writing, I'm going to put up a laptop or a pen and paper. Like, if that's all you have for now, go with it, because then you get to experiment with your messaging. And it's the messaging, it's the words, it's what's behind those words that is going to actually have more impact. But if you don't start, you're never going to get anywhere. So, for some of my clients though, we went and did photo shoots. They've had photo shoots recently, and I'm like, hey guys, where are those photos? And they haven't updated their LinkedIn profile photo. They haven't posted any of those photos. And I'm like, why did we go and do all of that work? Or you go and get all these fancy pants assets made, and then you're not even actually using them. And so it's finding what consistency looks like to you. And I saw a great meme the other day, which was like all these circles colored in. It was like what people think consistency looks like, full 100% on every day. But consistency actually looks like, and I can tell you, Lynn, you've said I'm consistent, but I'm also beautifully inconsistent, because I don't show up at the same time every day. I don't show up at the same time, same way in every day. Sometimes it's 10% and sometimes it's 100%. Sometimes it's 70%. It's different, but I'm still consistent. I'm still
in showing up.
It's just not as, and Rachel talked about this just before we came on air. It was like about productivity and the way it looks and works for you. So if you could post, for now, if you're not posting at all, once a week, choose your channel. If LinkedIn's your jam, be there. If Instagram's your jam, be there. Don't try and be everywhere. Find what works and fits for you. Even coming and being in the groups, that we're in, I've had so much feedback about people like, oh, I know you when they meet me, but it's because I'm in a Facebook group. That's where I'm visible. It's not necessarily even on a public channel. It's just that I participate and communicate in that group, so that somebody might say, oh, I need to write that Emma lady. She's there because I've seen her name a lot. And my photo looks like me. So when they meet me, they're like, oh, I've seen your face a lot. Or I think I know you. I'm like, no, my face is just everywhere a lot. But it pays off.
Yeah, it pays off.
So find out what is consistent to you and how that looks, And so I think we get really caught up in the strategy and the apps, and people go, oh, just use Trello, or just use this, or just use that. It's like, just go and post a photo of yourself and say, hey, I'm here. And if anyone's listening today, go and do a reintroduction post. I probably do a reintroduction post every month, because you have new audience every month.
I never do that.
No. I challenge you both. I love
I see you doing it, and I see Brooke McCarthy doing it a lot. It is the post to do. Maybe I should do one of those. But what about, I mean, you are.
That's how everyone would know there's a Rachel behind Rachel's list.
Hi, I'm Rachel from Rachel's List.
I do. I should do that. But I want to ask you about your posting schedule, and do you have a strategy behind it, and do you schedule your posting, or do you just do it when you have time?
Both, hybrid. And there are times where I'm more organized. Like before I had my son, I had 4 months of content, planned, because I knew that I would have no capacity. And before holidays, sometimes I do make sure I have posts going out. And in an ideal world, I do have some regular posts. Like I know on a Monday, I share like a message from me. It's like a message about personal branding, and there is a tile that I use. And so it's easy. We just take a different message and copy paste it into that Canva tile, ready to go. And then on Fridays, I always do a quote, like an inspiring quote, which is just a happy Friday. It's got my colors on it. It's just something to think about. And then I do make sure that every week I've got a photo of me, and I call those thoughtful posts, where I will write something very thought-provoking and inspirational, of course. But it's in there. And so I do have kind of a set, and this is why I say people talk about content pillars and get really stuck into the strategic nitty-gritty. It's like, just choose what you like posting. I'm going to share one of my blogs. I'm going to put a photo of me and talk about things that I'm interested in, which is that getting to know you, getting to like you.
Yep.
And then maybe once a week you put an offer like, hey, we've got a webinar on, or hey, I've got availability in my calendar this month, or oh, I'm speaking at this event, come and join me. Like those are call to action type posts. So, you know, you don't even need to detail what they are. It's just, I'm going to do this or this or this each week. And then you're just filling the gaps. So I've used anything from a Word doc where I just write day, title, image or link needed, and then I write the post, to an Excel spreadsheet where it is colored boxes and planned out and a bit more, you know, filled in, to I use Airtable, which is like a version of Trello. I call it spreadsheet on crack. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm a huge advocate. And that's probably a bit more detailed. And I work with my VAs on that, and they help me to schedule content. But there are times where there's nothing in there planned, and then I just post on the day. Not ideal, but I still go, you know what? I'm at an event today, I'll share a photo and I'll post it. You can still have flexibility. I do a hybrid. So have 1 to 3 things that you know are going out every week. And if you can schedule them, it frees you up. And then allow yourself a couple of days to, whether it's show up on a story, create a video, post a photo, be at an event, that stuff, just leave room for. And but find the flow and the productivity that works for you. If you really love the plan, find a plan. And there's some great content creation and content planning and management tools out there, but you got to use them, and you got to have the system that works for you. So I have a system that works for me.
I definitely know that planning my social for Rachel's List saves me hours and hours every week. It's just difficult when jobs change or get filled or something like that. But this week, first week in ages, I use bulk buffer, because I use buffer to schedule. And bulk buffer is you upload everything and then it just goes and fits it into the boxes that you've defined and the times and stuff. And oh my God, just knowing that all the jobs are going out at the right time, people's going to see them, and other things are going out, it really frees me so much. But anyway, I'm going off track because I wanted to ask you about the photo shoots, because you are the queen of photo shoots, really.
We are now. Yeah.
I never have a photo shoot ever. Like I would actually
I'm getting you up here, Rachel.
No, I resist the photo shoot.
You're coming. Well, that's it. I'll bring it to you then.
But why do you do them? Why do you do so many? And what do you think they become easier the more you do them? I mean, I think so many of us want to be behind the scenes, and we don't want to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think, as you've seen with my son, loves the camera. I love the camera, and I'm raising him the same way. I've always been comfortable behind the camera. That's just me. But I, for a long time, I had great relationships with photographers. So I used to do contra. So I would do some writing for them, and they would do photography for me, which was lovely. So I've had professional shoots over the years, but it was only maybe like a couple years ago, probably around the time I started personal branding, that I invested and hired a photographer specifically. And I think people don't realize that they're actually quite affordable, but I think they've also probably had not a very nice experience with headshot photography. So the way that I offer personal brand group photo shoots. So we get a group of people together, we make it fun, we have some champagnes, we have some nibbles, we have a nice atmosphere, and it's like, just feel good and feel yourself. And then we're going to actually get some shots as well. And so I think you can have fun with it. And the more headshots are not standing there with your arms folded, posing to the camera, like that is so dead and done. Your photos are the chance to show people who you are. And the more that you feel good on the day, that's going to come across in the photos. Like Tyra Banks, America's Next Top Model days, smiles, smile with your eyes. Like it does actually come through, and you've seen it, and I have people who have great imagery on their website of real people in real places, and it's not this stock stuff that you can see through a mile off. It creates trust very quickly. It builds a relationship without you even saying something. So by the time they get on the phone, and I've had a client who we revamped her website. She was a lawyer. It was very white, clinical. She was trying to be like a lawyer, and make it all lawyery
and professional.
But she's not a big firm. She's a family lawyer, and she deals with separation, divorce, and yucky stuff, but she does it in a lovely way. So again, we used her favorite color of purple, softened it massively, we put up real photos of her on the website, and she got a number of comments straight away of people going, I went to your website and I felt like I knew you, or like, I saw your website, it was lovely. And they just felt at ease talking to her already. And it's like, yes, because you're a lovely person and you're wonderful to work with. Why are you trying to be this professional when actually you are professional? You're just also a person and a human. And that's what you're showing with those photos. So that's why I'm so passionate about it. And I want to make it a nice experience for people too. Like, it can be lovely, and it just can do so much when we are online so much, it can build a relationship without you having to do it.
Oh, definitely. I really agree that you need to have a photo of yourself on your website. A lot of people avoid it because, and I think it's all tied up with their own personal issues and things like that. I think because I've been an editor, you have to have an editor's photo. And then after you've had them done a few times, and then people can be quite harsh, and then they sort of, you have to update them and everything. And after a while, I left my ego ages ago, because it's, as you asked Rachel before, I think, do you get used to it? And I think you do. I think it's just a tool of the trade, and you get less stressed about it. I do think so.
Put your big person pants on and kind of, I just tell people, I say to my clients, even, get over yourself. Take the photo, smile for a second. Done. But I have a great, which I'm very happy to share, I have a great personal brand photo shoot guide to show the versatility that you need in your photos so that you can actually use them. So often, if you're just getting headshots and you're getting them all looking down the camera and they're all in one way, you can't use them. And we do use our photos a lot. And that's the thing, when you have good photos, you use them more. And so when you asked about having more photo shoots, Rachel, and the fact that I have them often, it's because I'm using them. I use my imagery so much. And there are some pictures that become your like classic, and you love that photo and you will use it over and over. But, we're changing. I've had a child in 2 years. I'm changing, and the way I'm showing up changes. So my photos need to update. And I really recommend, if it can't be every 6 months, every year. Every year you need to be having at least 10 photos taken, standing, sitting, working, wide shot, close shot. But we can do that in our shoots. We do that in a 2-hour shoot, but we would actually have that one person done in 15, 20 minutes. And we're having a drink and having a laugh.
I just want to touch on one last question about personal branding that I think is important. And it's people who have created a brand but then get sick of it, or want to completely overhaul it. And I mean, what are the dangers of radically changing a personal brand that your customers and clients are already really aligned with and love?
I actually loved this question, and I just recorded my own podcast, and I was with someone and I was like, I'm going to talk about this topic because I think it's amazing. I actually don't care. And I think it's getting that point where I don't care what other people think. And we as people change and evolve. You have changed and evolved in your life. And if we are asking someone to stay the same for us, that is not fair. So if that person decides that what they're showing up as and how they're showing up no longer fits with where they're at in their life and they've changed, good for them. But if that no longer serves you, then turn it off, unfollow. And that person is now going to attract their audience. So for me, I don't think it's a risk. You are going to lose people. But if that new way of showing up and that way you're coming across and being visible feels good for you, then you're going to attract the right people. So if right now the way that you're coming across, and you do already have a bit of a brand, you've built that up, if it's feeling inauthentic and it's not feeling good, then it's okay to change that, and it's okay to be more true to you. And people won't like it, but you don't like everyone, so why would everyone like you? You know what I mean?
Do you have to be careful in how you bring your customers and clients along for the ride with your messaging and all of that sort of stuff?
I think, it is being aware that you have a public facing position now. So, I think it's just it's that openness and honesty and sharing that journey, and maybe even acknowledging this doesn't fit with my values anymore. This is where I'm going. I'm moving in a new direction. So you will see changes. You will see things happening. And this is just the road that I'm on. And maybe even asking for grace while that happens. And, maybe not just going offline and then coming back like wham, bam,
Yeah.
I think just share, you can share that, but obviously, you don't need to overshare. And if you're in a place of if that's very vulnerable, you don't share it as you're going through it. It just might be, I've had a change recently, and so you will notice changes, and things are going to look different, and that's okay. And if you choose that that's not for you, give them the opt out, give them the unsubscribe. That's okay. But I really hope you'll stay with me on this journey.
Yep.
Wow. Thank you so much, Emma.
Amazing.
I'm conscious that we're right at the end of time.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about where people can find you and connect.
Oh, there you go. I've got to do my plug. Very easy. Lovelycommunications.com, LOVELLY. Double the L means double the life. But also very clever pun, play on my last name. Instagram, Lovely Comms, and LinkedIn, Emma Lovell. I would love to, I really do love connecting with people. I'd love to hear from you. And if you got any value from today, I'd love to hear that. Or if you have any further questions and feeling challenged by this, I'd really love to have a discussion. So
that'd be great.
Amazing. Thank you, Em. Okay, thanks everybody for listening. We will put bits and bobs in the show notes for you. And yeah, we'll see you all next week.
Yes, thank you. Thanks,
Okay.
Emma. Bye.
Bye.